want me to say the question?
Yes.
Okay. Briefly describe your mental health status prior to CrossFit.
So, I've been doing CrossFit for probably 5 months. Before CrossFit, I felt kind of like lost, trying to find ways to feel less low about myself. And so before CrossFit, I think I had a lot of self-loathing and really low self-confidence, and I tried to find like really easy ways to fix that. And yeah, so it wasn't very good, but here we are.
I started CrossFit actually because of my older brother. So I had had a really tough time with my old job and a previous relationship and just a lot of things going on in my life at the same time. So I slipped into a horrible state of depression and anxiety all the time. And my brother said, "Hey, come try this with me." And I was very skeptical. I was like, not sure I want to do that. I think it took me 3 weeks of, you know how the first 3 weeks of CrossFit go, very tired, exhausted all the time. And then ever since then, I was like, this has been the one thing on top of the other things I was doing for my mental health to really drag me out of that. And since then, I think I would encourage everyone to do it.
Prior to CrossFit, let's see, I was pretty depressed. I was really overweight. Weighed about 285 pounds. I had a horrible marriage, horrible life outside of CrossFit. Really negative. I started CrossFit back in 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. And man, caught on pretty quick. Found that it was something I could really get into and really help boost my mood. Helped help with my weight loss, which was a big part of it. Got a lot more confidence. Just all around better.
So I discovered CrossFit in 2013. I joined the military in 2004. So up until recently, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, the military wasn't really big on mental health. So I guess like it was still a release of exercise, like taking the mental and emotional, I don't know if it would be called trauma or experiences, and exerting those towards exercise. But I think CrossFit has helped me hone in like on my mental health, how to channel it a little bit better. I think that not only the exercise part, it's the community part. So the community part of CrossFit is really what helps me get through anything. I call my friends, I go to coffee with my friends come to me, they tell me everything, and I tell them anything and everything. So, and specifically my friends in CrossFit. So, you just asked me the question, but specifically you, Nicole Gam, is one of the bigger aspects of why I think my mental health prior to CrossFit or prior to meeting you would probably be subpar.
When I think about CrossFit, I feel like it was like the missing puzzle piece in my life. I finally found somebody that was a good father, a good husband, but I hadn't quite invested in myself to make me feel better. And so coming to M4G, I just felt like it was the community, it was the emotional support, it was the drive that made me want to be better, to try something for myself. So I just feel like now I just feel whole, I guess, is how I would describe it.
I was officially diagnosed with depression, sort of intermittent chronic depression, when I was 18 or 19, but looking back on my childhood, it was something I'd struggled with for a long time. And I have ADHD and some compulsive behaviors. And I've been on antidepressants, I've been on medications, I've gone all those routes, but there are side effects to stuff you put in your body, and I don't like it. I didn't like how I felt, whether it be foggy or amped up or numbed or anything like that. With a history of depression and of alcoholism, I like to try and keep my mind clear, and so finding natural ways to fight that are important. And there are two ways that I think CrossFit has really helped me deal with depression and with my compulsive nature. Is one, it creates endorphins, right? Like you work your butt off and you get to that level and you just feel better after you work out, period, the end. Having the structure and the community of CrossFit changes that and adds a level of accountability, but also friendship. I started here at the gym, and after, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks, I started getting worn out, and the novelty had worn off, and muscles I didn't know that I had were in agony. But the group reached out, and there was never any shaming or any, why weren't you here, or anything like that. But people were adding me on social media and inviting me to join their groups. And all of a sudden I realized there was a place where people wanted me to be and wanted to help me on this journey.
Prior to CrossFit, I never really took pictures of myself. I was like, I think 13 pounds heavier than I am now, but I had a lot more fat than I do now. I was just unhappy. I sat on the couch all day. I did nothing. I was also in a really, really bad marriage. I like to forget that part of my life, actually. But so it was just, I was miserable. And I've usually been a really happy person. So I was just like kind of angry, just miserable, and yeah, so that was it.
How has CrossFit positively impacted your mental health?
Obviously what I just said. The ability to come to a place where you're comfortable to be yourself, to not be judged so much, but to be judged in a friendly, fun manner. You know, we judge each other all the time and give each other stuff and whatnot, but to be able to come here and just know that when I leave here, I'm going to be in a better mood, a better presence, a better mental state. So it also helps me plan for the future.
I did answer question number 2 in a way. Go ahead and ask.
How has CrossFit positively impacted your mental health?
Well, confidence is the biggest part of it. Feeling like I can do things again where before I couldn't bend over, tie my shoe, without having a hard time breathing. I couldn't play with my kid. I had taken him to Disney World and couldn't walk around Disney World like the whole time with him without like feeling like I was dying. My ankles were swollen, feet hurt, just couldn't do everyday life. So I'd say most part just gave me my life back.
So, along with other things, is I think that people don't talk about mental health a whole lot, and how just exercising in general can really boost and help you when you're down in a terrible place or dealing with a lot of emotional or mental things that you're digging yourself out of. And I think literally as this school year has been the hardest school year that any teachers had to go through. And I think that without CrossFit, I probably wouldn't be doing very well because I rely on it a lot. I rely on coming here, forgetting about school for the hour that I'm here, and just busting my butt and having a good time and getting to know everyone here, because you really don't feel like you're alone anymore. And you have people that support you and care about you, so you don't think about the things that are causing you a lot of trouble when you're here.
Well, I never really had a group of female friends until now. The wenches, of course. Found my best friends here, found my boyfriend here. I'm rarely angry anymore. I'm rarely sad anymore. Like, I'm just kind of this happy little thing that bounces around the gym and says wildly inappropriate stuff all the time.
For me, and I think for a lot of people, depression, when it sets in, makes you feel like the circumstances you're in can never change and can never get better. And there's a hopelessness and frustration and despair that comes in those moments that for me settles right here in my chest, and it is this weight that's just crushing my soul. And it's taken me to some dark places in the past, but with CrossFit, for me, I've lost some weight, not as much as I would like, but that'll come. But more than that is I've noticed real changes in my body and what I can do. And I've never in my life been able to do a real push-up. I've never in my life been able to do a pull-up. I remember getting laughed at in high school because I was like, I can't do that. And just recently, I'm seeing a huge difference in what my body can do towards these things that I've never been able to do before. And so in a moment when I feel like things aren't getting better, I can look to real tangible changes in my life and see the way that the role that CrossFit in this community have played in helping me to make those changes. And it helps me to get through those times when I feel discouraged or tired or frustrated or that I don't want to continue.
So it hasn't really been like a fix-all of everything, because obviously mental health is much more than just coming into the gym 5 days a week and working out. But the really important thing for me is getting moving and having a routine and being consistent and having people there for me to help me and encourage me. And one thing I've always struggled with is like feeling really out of place and like I don't belong with anybody. So it's nice to have a community of friends and people that care about me and don't care that I ugly cry. And even beyond that, just learning really basic functional skills. Having a chronic illness that affects my mobility and always being told that I can't. It really makes a difference in how I see myself and how I carry myself. When I've done this for 5 months and I realize that I actually can do a lot of the things that people tell me that I can't do. So it's not like this is my therapy necessarily, but it's definitely helped me see myself in a better way, not necessarily physically, but that I am not just a body in a mirror, I guess. Thanks. I can't get up. I'm sweaty. That's it. Look at that, I didn't cry.